Hello YouTube artist, I'm Kelly Hernig and welcome to In the Studio. Today I want to revisit a practice that I started in 2023. This was my first 100 days project and I did 3 colors and then I painted a simple leaf. I've been wanting to get back to this practice because I've gotten a lot of watercolors lately that I'm not sure how they mix like this. So I thought this would be a fun thing to show you once again. Now, if you want to see this entire sketchbook, go to my playlist and you'll see the 100-day project. And that is this entire sketchbook there. And it's done just like we're going to do today. I'm going to be working with the ocean paper. These are the paint colors that I have. And I'm going to be using, let's see, I think Loam, red ochre, and this green gray. Maybe I use this one, Greenish Umber. So these 3 colors, I think that'll give me kind of a nice fall coloration of leaves, and we'll see how they play well with each other. I'm working in a handmade sketchbook by Deanna off of Etsy. I've got her listed below if you're interested. This one has Fabriano's Studio paper in it. It is my favorite paper because I like the texture and I like what it does with my splashes. It's what I prefer in my sketchbooks. I'm using a Bowerbird palette. This is a ceramic palette. It has this on one side and this on the other. I'm going to be using this for color mixing today just because I find it easier. This is great for when you're mixing puddles, but I use this just as much on the opposite side here. For my color mixing, I'm going to be using a 10 Snap flat shader from Princeton. And then for filling in the leaves, I'm going to be using my Long Round Aqua Elite by Princeton, the number 8. Everything will be listed in the video description box below. These are handmade watercolors, so I like to always start them with a little bit of water on top of them, just to get them activated. And I've got a 2-inch line right here, and that's where I'm going to mix the colors first. And then I've got this leaf set drawn right here like that. So those are going to be the leaves that we're coloring in. Just go to your yard, pick up a leaf that you like, and bring it in. You can see mine are all tattered, and that's the way I like them. I like when there's holes everywhere and there's half leaves. Those are the kind of things I look for. So I'm going to start with, let's start with this orange, which was red ochre. I need a nice little pile of that. A little bit of water. I have a little container under this so that it's fairly stiff. And I'm just going from one end to the other. I'm going to mix in loam, so I'm just going to grab some of the loam here. Let me push this up so you can see this better. So I'm going to put a little bit here and go into the puddle. I just want to see it change. Doesn't have to change dramatically, but I do want to see it change. A little more loam. Before I get too far, I want to splash those. I splash for texture and value. So I want to see what it will do on the paper. Since I'm not real familiar with these paints, I want to see if they splash and give me a lot of beautiful texture. Let's add some more loam here. A little more water. Now I'm going to go to loam just by itself there. I want to make a nice big pile of that. Okay. I'm going to make a little pencil note so I remember that this is the pure color there. Now I'm going to go into this dark umber. And I just want to add a little bit at a time because I don't want it to get too dark too fast. I want to see what it will do to the loam. Oh, there we go. See, I just made it a little dirtier there and a little more on the green side. Whoops. Our nights are getting a little cooler here in Indiana. I think fall is coming, and fall is my favorite time of the year. So that's what's got me working with these colors here to try to create some nice fall colors. Now for the last couple here, I'm going to go with the green umber and the orange, the red ochre. I just want to see what kind of color. Now, green and red are complementary. That means they're across from each other on the color wheel, and they will usually gray each other out. So I want to see, will it be a brown or will it be a definite gray? Ooh, look at that color. Nice. Now this is what I love about this exercise is look at these exciting colors. Just 3 colors did that. And this is what I really like, exploring your own palette. So you can just pick any 3 colors. It doesn't matter. Think about a subject maybe you want to try or just a color mix. It's not important what the colors are. You just want to be excited by them. So I had fall on my brain, so that is why I picked these colors. But I've got a beautiful array of natural colors there. We're going to start painting our leaves now. I do want to include the original colors as well. So I've got this tiny leaf in here that is beaten up, really. And I'm going to use the loam by itself there. And how I do this is full strength, and then I'm going to dip my brush in water and just water on my brush here to kind of pull it and see what it does in the lighter values. See how gnarly and twisted this is? I love this leaf. When I picked it up, I was so excited to just see that thin little line there. See that? And I'm going to bring you up closer. Sorry about that. So I'm going to take a little bit of that last color we added, and I'm just going to dip a little bit in there. Just so it has a little bit of color, but I want to leave the top the loam. I'm going to splash that as well. Now for splashing, some of you have asked about, you don't get great splashes. It cannot be real wet. If it's real wet, all it does is like kind of push the color to the edges. So you have to let it dry, or as the shine is dissipating, that's when it's a great time to splash. Okay, I'm going to use these mixes now for this leaf over. No, that one I went green for this guy here, this big guy. So that was the red ochre and the loam. Now here I'm going to try to add multiple colors. So this is that straight color by itself. I always imagine that there's a little line here. Okay, I'm going to go straight into that red ochre now. I want it a little heavier towards the bottom. I like my leaves to be heavier towards the stem here. Look at that richness. That's beautiful. And a little bit up here. Just water on my brush now. Now this was a little bit of loam, so I'm just going to have loam by itself up here so that I remembered what it was mixed with. I'm watching this down here. It's getting kind of dry, so I need to splash. You can see what that did. Look how beautiful that looks. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of that loam or red ochre by itself. Let's get some in here so that it's nice and deep. And I don't mind when my edges get all wrecked by the water splashes. I kind of like that. Keeps it from being perfect. If it's out of control, you can just take a paper towel and kind of go along the edge. Use your nail and kind of clean it up a little bit. But I'm okay with it. Okay, I want to add this green color here. So this green and then going into that color. I want to do that one for that leaf right there. So that was the green umber. I start with just green umber by itself, and I've got it kind of watery here. And I'm going to pick up some pure pigment there. Ooh, that's pretty. I like how rich this color is. It's like a really dirty green. It's beautiful. If they had a tube of this, I would buy a whole tube. Gonna add a little bit of loam to that. On the back side here, I'm going to touch a little bit of that green and a little bit of the red ochre. I just want to change it to the little more brownish color. There we go. I think that'll look pretty up here. It just adds that little touch of fall. I love that. I love that we're connecting to the orange right there. So this one over here, I want to go a little bit of the loam. Let's connect a little bit to that red ochre. A little more loam there. And I'm going to touch just a tip of the green into there. So I've got this kind of color here. That's a nice color. So I'm touching some of that into there up here. I'm going to start adding some green because I want it to go to the green color. So I've got the green and that little bit of the red ochre here. Touch of the dark green down here. I like the shape of that one. Okay, where this left off with that red and green, I'm going to start there, kind of at the top here. A little more green. And on this side, I just want to add the loam, kind of give it a lighter edge. I'm going to mix the green and the red and make a kind of brown for the stems. I want it kind of dark. I'm just going to take my little brush, add some water down there, and kind of blot so that it has values as well, just like my leaves do. Okay, I'm going to dry this and then I'll be back to show you. So this is what my finished piece looks like, and I wrote red ochre, loam, greenish umber, and then red ochre again so that I would remember that I mixed there. And I'm going to bring you up so you can see the beautiful colors first. Aren't they lovely? Isn't that a fun mixing technique? I hope you really try this with your own palette. 3 colors, just go for it. And then these are my leaves. And that's it for our color exercise. If you are inspired by today's content, please like or comment. If you haven't subscribed, please click the button. Thanks for watching.